welcome to the Mythos Mystery Society presents the Fear Itself scenario, The Seventh Circle, brought to you by Schmuckies. It's 6 levels of fun. Today we were exploring the Schmuckies Mystery Mansion, and we found an old video cassette recorder in the attic, and we started to turn it on, and it led us to here, watching a found footage tape of Ghosted, the Tales from the Other Side, and we found this tape and we're gonna watch it tonight together. I'm Dave, I'm your keeper for tonight, and with that we will go around and introduce ourselves and do a quick introduction of our character, but we'll do more thorough what the hell is on my hand? Oh my god, what is this? It's like, I think it's
called skin,
something that I primed earlier, and it was just like, oh my god. We'll go around and we'll start with Maria.
Hello, it's me. I'm Maria. I use they, she pronouns. I am playing Everett Harrison tonight. Who uses he and him pronouns? What do we need to tell you? What?
And what position on the show you are, I guess.
I'm a co-host. I have a man bun. Everett uses he and pronouns, if I didn't say that already. That's me. And is always tired. Everett's always tired. That's so me. Tired. I'm always so damn tired all the time.
Throw it on over to Emma.
Hello. I'm Emma. I use she, her pronouns. And today I am playing Penelope Ward, who also uses she, her pronouns, and she's the writer. And that's me.
Yeah. Jason, I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Piers Clark, who is the cameraman. And he also uses he, him pronouns.
I'm Alex Gaston. I use she, her pronouns, as does my character, Josephine Garrett, who goes by Jo. She is the show's producer. And I guess me and my internet tonight are Dragoness.
Dragoness! And with that brings us to the opening of The Seventh Circle. We begin in North London on a late summer's morning. Channel 8 is based in Brent Cross, not far from Junction 1 of the M1 motorway. The headquarters are not particularly tall in comparison to the buildings around it, but a large glass frontage that looks into the opulent lobby makes it stand out. You have been called to the office of Terrence Stone, who is the head producer of Channel 8. Stone has the final say on what goes on the air for the show, and all other original work put on the air by Channel 8. It's an unusually early meeting, given his normal schedule, being called at 8 a.m., which is a sign to you that this is quite important. You are all shown into the office overlooking the lobby by Stone's secretary and find him sat behind his wide, very modern desk with a touchscreen computer and a huge display built into the surface. 8 high-backed executive meeting room chairs have been placed in an arc on the opposite side of the desk from Stone. You notice 2 unfamiliar women are in 2 of these chairs. Terrence gets up and shakes all of your hands. Hey there, crew. Hey! Hope the early morning wasn't too hard on all of you. I wanted you to meet our guests here. This is Audrey Glass and Valerie Irving. Audrey, an older woman who looks like an old English housewife, waves and says, "Hello, nice to meet you all." Clearly excited about being inside of a TV studio. You can assume for her, this is the first time ever. Irving, on the other hand, is a young lawyer wearing a very svelte business suit, and she barely looks up from her laptop. A blink and you'll miss it nod to acknowledge your existence is all she gives you. I want you all to go ahead and introduce yourself in a bit more detail. Like, how do you present yourself to these guests as they're like kind of shaking your hands, and like, what do you look like, what are you wearing, and all that stuff?
Josephine Garrett is she's about 5'6". She walks in, she's got her vest on, covered in tattoos, a lot like I do. She's 42, but she looks a little older for her age, and she keeps playing with the wedding ring on her finger. But she presents herself strong, shoulders high, doesn't fidget except for that wedding ring, and just sternly shakes everybody's hands and says, "Hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you."
Irving just kind of nods, but what Audrey has clearly never met a producer before. She's like, "Oh, okay, cool." But you can tell that she's a bit more excited to meet Everett because Everett's the host of the show,
Yeah.
so she sees her the
Is she a bit intimidated by Joe, or
It's more like that kind of like shy, like I don't really know these people too well. Like I don't know what these people do and stuff, but I'm more starstruck by that one over there. And Melanie is there too as well, who's the other co-host. So like she sees the two that she's like super familiar with, and she's like just shy to be in the same room as everybody now.
okay? And she'll just go sit down and pour herself a glass of water or something.
Everett,
yeah.
Everett looks like he has been awake for maybe 5 minutes. He probably woke up, took like an Uber here or like some sort of taxi, fell asleep in the taxi, woke up again, and is just somehow made it up here. Everett is probably close to 6 feet. Not too large, kind of a slim but not like fit slim kind of individual. Has pretty curly or wavy hair that he usually pulls up in some sort of messy something or other, even on the job, to keep it out of the way. He kind of walks almost perpetually with like a little bit of a stoop to kind of also feed into this I'm always tired all the time. He has a 5 o'clock shadow everywhere that's definitely turned into more of just like a perpetual shadow. Just it's always there. And I think he found coffee somewhere between home and here, or someone gave it to him, and he's just kind of standing there swaying a little bit, eyes like half open, only just kind of comprehending that people are in the room with him.
You see Audrey like waves at you, just like, oh, Everett, I loved you on the episode where you visited all the haunted places in Arkham. That was such a good episode. I'm such a big fan of the show.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just gonna go and sit next to Joe. Hopefully there's a table that he can just kind of like lay on.
And Melanie just kind of leans over and shakes Audrey's hand and just like, don't worry, he's always like that. Yeah, then I guess whoever else wants to go next.
Piers will run up, the exact opposite energy of Everett. He's morning person, well put together, like hearty, energetic handshake. You know, hey guys, great morning. It's nice to meet you. You know, he's the kind of guy who walked in with a thermos. He brewed his coffee at home, brought it in. He's ready, prepared. And, you know, hey, how's everybody doing? Doing great. Glad to be here. Ready to keep giving you all the shots and angles you love.
I love all of your shots and angles. And then Irving just kind of goes, Audrey, please. It's too early in the morning. Just like, oh, okay, I get it. That's fine. And then Penelope.
So Penelope is like 5'3", 5'4". She is, I'm a baby. And she is, she's very round and she's so excited to be here. She's very bubbly. She's dressed in this like very cute black dress, and her hair is thrown up in like a very messy bun. Her hair is very curly and dark. And she's got her little mug of tea, and she is absolutely thrilled to be here.
It's like, oh, you're the writer? I love the poems that you start every episode with. It's so cool. I like, where do you get all these ideas? And then Irving again is just like, Audrey, please. It's like, oh, okay.
She just sits down next to everybody else, like shy that someone likes what she does.
And with that, after introductions, Terrence asks everyone to take a seat if they haven't already taken a seat. All right, I called you all today because we finally have found the location that we'll be filming. That's too early in the morning for me. The final episode of season 2 of Ghosted. You're going to be excited about this, Penelope. It's Eilean Moore in Scotland. You were telling me the other day about how you'd want to explore the lighthouse there, you know. Originally, we were going to try and do the Tower of London and make this a season 3 episode, but there have been some logistical issues, and we need to work out first. And the tower is expensive, and he motions to Audrey and Irving. And a recent windfall has pushed it a bit ahead. Audrey takes this as her cue to explain the situation. Right? You've no doubt heard about the Glass House of Eilean Moore. The Lighthouse tends to be the more notable location for ghost hunters like yourselves. And she gets giddy mentioning your occupation. She must be a fan of the show. Well, as you've assumed, I am the... She looks to Irving, and Irving actually looks up for a moment to give her a nod. Right, yes, right. I am the owner of Glass House. Well, technically, it's rather a long story, actually, you see. And then Irving shuts her laptop and sighs. My client, Miss Glass, would like you all to include the Glass House as part of your episode so that she may sell it at a premium. As a benefit to Channel 8, my client is willing to offer the network a percentage of the sale of the house. And we have secured permission from the Northern Lighthouse Board to allow Channel 8 to film at the site of the lighthouse. Audrey then pipes back in. And the Glass House has all sorts of spooky history behind it to make your show extra fun there. For instance, when my ex-husband was building the place, there were a few issues and disappearances. Woo! Okay, calm down, Audrey. Right, to be completely honest, no one has been inside the house since it was finished about 7 years ago, so I have entrusted the keys to Terrence here, and I think that's it. Are there any questions?
From like face down on the table, Everett raises his hand. Why has no one gone into the house in 7 years?
I mean, Eilean Moore is a very secluded house, and I would have to assume, I mean, when you see the place, you might get it, but like, it's locked, and the way it's locked is very secure, so even what's it called, hoodlums that want to like break into the place wouldn't be able to get into it or anything.
Oh, okay. Second question then, if your late husband built this house, why have you not gone in for the last 7 years?
Well, the late husband, supposedly, Audrey just kind of looks at her and she's just like, okay, well, I haven't gone there because I just didn't want to go. It's in Eilean Moore. I don't want to make the trip out there. It was also under some legal issues because my husband's been missing since the place was built, and just I didn't want to go there. It's now mine due to absentia, the law of absentia. He's been missing for 7 years, so like it's mine now, and I just kind of want to get rid of it, to be honest, because it's a spooky lighthouse on a spooky, or it's a spooky house on a spooky island with a spooky lighthouse that has a spooky story behind it. So that's why I haven't been there.
I think Everett leans over to Joe and just whispers, I have a feeling I know why we are going there, and it's just because of the word spooky. That's it. That's the only reason. There's nothing. It's going to be nothing.
I'm pretty sure that we're just there to go and make sure they get a good price on it.
How loud did Everett say that?
Where did you sit?
I think I don't know. Are we all sitting together? I mean,
I want to have
nearby.
to assume that
Are we on like a
you,
table?
Yeah, it's kind of like a round table. But I want to say all of you sat next to each other, and then there's a couple of empty seats, and then Audrey and Irving are at another seat, and then Terrence is kind of at his own desk that's in the back of the room.
So I mean, it's probably quiet enough that like Terrence and the two guests couldn't hear, but like probably everyone else could hear.
Audrey is just like, oh, they're talking about how spooky it is. I'm so excited that they're excited.
Wow.
Oh, go ahead, Pierre.
I'm gonna like sarcastically lean to Everett and be like, what do your psychic powers tell you?
that I need more coffee. And someday it's going to appear in this cup.
I start pouring some of my coffee into their cup.
Ta-da.
The Lord works in mysterious ways. I assume that we've already worked out payment, and obviously we would like a little bit more security in being sure that we're not liable for anything that we might find, especially since you haven't been there in 7 years and now we're just sitting foot.
Oh, absolutely. If there's anything wrong with the place or, I won't put it on any of you. We signed a contract with Terrence. And if you are curious about something, you can absolutely call us if you need to, and let us know, and we'll give you the A-OK. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Are we going to have signal on the Isle?
Yeah, how's the reception out there?
I personally don't know. I hear it's kind of spotty, but I think Terrence kind of leans in. We have, once you get to the Great Northwestern Hotel in Carnaway, we have supplies for you to bring over to the island. One of them includes a satellite phone.
Good to know.
Perfect. Good.
Great.
Great.
Sir, I guess, considering it that I might understand what we are being asked to do, is there anything in particular that you want us to focus on?
As far as how spooky the house is,
As in, you're obviously using this for some form of real estate video.
Yes.
Is there specific parts of the house that you want us to focus on, or...
Well,
what do you want me to get captured in the house?
The ghosts.
Yeah.
Is there a main spot that they are?
I wouldn't. I mean, in theory, I just know that there were disappearances in the house, but you might have to. There's a chance there's something spooky behind that. But as far as I personally know, I know there were disappearances, but I don't know where they happened or anything.
The right idea.
Yeah. It's just, you're a genius, you see.
Are you asking us to also go to the light? Are we also doing the light? I look over at Terrence. Are we also doing the lighthouse? Because that feels like it's a...
Yes. The lighthouse is basically, this episode is going to focus on the entire island of Eilean Moor. So you're going to talk about the lighthouse, because of course you got to talk about the lighthouse. It's famous. Like, everybody knows about what happened at the lighthouse in Eilean Moor in the Flannan Isles. Like, and if you don't, Penelope has been ranting and raving about it for the past week. She'll tell you at lunch or something. The lighthouse was going to be a focus topic, but we also have to now include this house, which apparently isn't such a crapshoot, because it sounds like something did happen there. I just don't know what it was, and apparently Miss Audrey doesn't either. And Audrey's just like, yeah, I wish I could be more helpful, but I think there's records out there, or people who worked on the house live in Stornoway in Carnaway, so they might be able to help you learn things. I'm not sure, but that's all I think I can answer for you. I can answer stuff logistically about the house or my husband, and that's about it. So,
what did your husband do?
Oh, he was an architect. He was too good of an architect, to be honest.
Why do you say that? Why do you
sometimes
say
he
that?
would stay... It became like this contentious part of our marriage where he would kind of focus too much on his job, I felt. And it became a stressor in our lives, and eventually we were going to get a divorce, but then he just went missing, and just, it wasn't looking good. Things were bad, but
what's his name?
His name was Nathan Glaas. And Glass, just so you know, is spelled Glaas.
Yes.
Glass.
Glass.
Irving closes her laptop and stands up and goes, with that, I believe my client has answered enough questions. If you have any more, feel free to contact her. Of course, yada yada. With that, we will hope for the best for you. Hope you get good footage. And it's in your best interest as well because you get a part of the cut. And good day. And she starts to kind of pull Audrey out of the room. She's like, I hope you all do really well. And then the door shuts.
Oh my gosh.
And Terrence, with that, kind of goes to get up to usher them out, but they're already gone. And he just goes, all right. So I'll be straight with you. The show hasn't been doing great. You all know this. But this windfall of cash will allow us to film the Tower of London episode. The catch is this Eilean Moore episode has to be top-notch for us to get a season 3. There's a lot riding on this episode, so make sure you figure out what would make some good TV. You hear that, Penelope? You may know about the Lighthouse, but we need to know more about this house too. So do your homework, kids. You got 2 days, and 2 days before we helicopter you out there. The closest we can get you is to Stornoway, and from there it's going to be a card ride to Carloway. And we have arrangements with the Great Northwestern Hotel to get you to Eilean Moore from the hotel. With that, lunch? And he kind of...
I look at my watch. Isn't it like 8 a.m.?
Yeah, it's maybe 9 by this point, and that's it. It's still pretty early.
I feel like this is...
I assume it's on you.
Oh, lunch? Oh no, I've already eaten breakfast. I'm good. This is for you all to discuss. We never eat together.
I feel like this meeting could have been in an email. In an email.
I cannot stress how important this episode is for you all to get right. He says that with as much malice as Terrence can give. But you know that it's serious if he calls you in here.
Josephine picks up on it.
With that, I have more meetings coming up. So...
He's telling us to fuck off. Let's go.
Yes. He kind of leans back in his chair.
Alright.
Round it up, everyone. Let's go. The faster we get this done,
I kick myself away from the table and the rolling chair, like as far as I can, and then just casually get up and walk out.
I stay in the rolling chair as long as possible as I just kind of like roll away from the table to like the trash can, throw away my cup, and then stand up, push the chair kind of generally towards the table, and then I'll, hands in pockets, just kind of walk out.
I was just holding the door open like...
Everyone's just so tired.
I'm not. Penelope is not.
Penelope
She's
and
already up there.
Piers.
She's excited.
Piers is ready. Starts the day ready.
All right, with that, this is kind of a preliminary investigation phase. So let's say you all go to maybe a breakfast or a lunch together to kind of talk about Eilean.
Eat brunch.
A pub.
Yeah, a brunch.
We go
if
to a
you will.
pub for brunch.
We're gonna have some
Guinness. Some brunch beer.
Some
haggis.
Haggis?
Some
You're in
haggis.
London
No.
right now. Where-
Beans and whatever.
yeah, I was
toast.
gonna say
Bangers and mash.
where do you all go for
Fish and
lunch?
chips.
But it sounds like you got
A
it.
pub.
Go to a pub.
Oh,
100%. I go to the nearest pub. Gotta get my
Nearest pub.
breakfast stout.
let's say it's the vaguely creepiest pub you can find, which is like
The Mad
trying to-
Hatter.
yeah, that's as
The
close
macabre.
as you can get. The macabre. And you order all of your kind of breakfast, but yeah, you have a chance to kind of talk and stuff.
All right, Penelope, what do you got for us?
Me.
Yeah, you.
So. And suddenly she like leans in very close to
The
everybody.
light dims.
Somewhere there's a crack of thunder.
Fascinating.
In the 1900s, there was a group, and by group I mean 3 individuals who took care of the lighthouse. They disappeared completely. No one ever found their bodies, but many people will say that it was a big storm, everything fell apart, it was very bad, boo-hoo. However, there was an entire meal that was laid out on the tables. that was never eaten. There was an overturned chair. All of the silverware was completely clean.
And that's it. They were
Well,
never
no,
seen?
there's like ghosts that people have seen on the water in boats. Have none of you heard these stories? It's like the most famous island around here, and we live by a lot of them.
I've heard vaguely about it, but
No.
What's the landscape
Just-
like? Is there like rare flowers or animals?
it's wet. It's very wet.
It's very rocky. It is, you don't want to get too close to the edge. There are very high winds that will take you right off. So you have to just be careful about that. But I am telling you, there's always a way to explain something strange that happens. Humans will always come up with some kind of scientific or realistic reason why something happens. Sometimes we're wrong.
Melanie
I think
just
it's very exciting.
Melanie kind of perks up in the background. I'm wrong a lot of the time. She's already got a morning beer. What do you think, Everett? You excited to go to a haunted Scottish Isle?
I suppose so.
This is the most lively I've seen you in months. She takes a big skull.
It is
My God.
interesting that the Lighthouse had people disappearing, and then the Glaas House also had a disappearance.
Yeah, we should look more into that. Like, how many people disappeared? Was it just the ex-husband, or?
Didn't they say, wasn't there workers?
She said disappearances, but we didn't really
Like plural.
ask about the disappearances.
It
Maybe
looks
she
like
was referring-
Penelope has a lot of homework. Melanie
Well,
just kind of leans into Penelope. Melanie never does any of the work. Like, she just reads the script and does the show and has a fun enough time, but like leaves she's definitely the person that rides the coattails of somebody else during a group assignment. So,
Oh, we know.
Penelope's
Curious.
gonna reach forward and take her beer and take a really long sip of it and slide it back.
I'm horrified to my very core.
Ah, scooey.
Josephine is sitting as far away from Melanie as she possibly can.
Yeah, on the complete opposite end.
Piers grabs his drink and leans in. Goes, "There have been a lot of shipwrecks because people in glass houses sink ships."
Oh, God. Seriously, you have to stop watching that movie.
What?
They're not even Irish.
Veronica will also be joining us, the other cameraman, by the way. She's just out. She couldn't make the morning meeting. You know how she is. She sleeps in, or she's sick or something. I don't know. But me and Veronica will meet you at the Northwestern. We got different tickets, apparently,
Melanie.
according to Terrence.
Melanie, it's Victoria, not Veronica.
Yeah,
You
you
haven't
know,
had
whatever.
that much to drink.
Ironically, this isn't the first game where I've gotten those two names messed up.
Amazing.
But this is fine. This works with Melanie. But yeah, so we'll meet you at the Great Northwestern. Have a great time. I guess you'll
Can't
have
wait. Hope you don't get lost.
Please
Don't
get
count on
lost.
it, Joe. She's a
Please
little
don't get
bitter.
lost.
But yeah, okay. Well, I'll leave you kids to it, and I'll see you in Stornoway, Carlaway. And
She's
she
gonna
just
get
gets
lost.
up. She gets up. She leaves the bill with you all, and she salutes as she runs out the door.
How old is Melanie?
How old was Joe?
42.
Everett is 35.
She's talking about herself.
Oh, is everybody like mid? Okay, then I want to say Melanie's probably mid-30s then too. She's on par with everybody. She's the average of all of your ages.
So 30.
What's half plus 7?